Hello everyone and welcome once again to MJ's Maths and Stats. That's MJ Magic Studio to you. I'm your host, Dost, and always in the ghost mode, Mohit Jain. With its written sample sure questions, but these are not sample sure questions. These are actual questions which were asked in previous term TCS Ninja and TCS NQT examination. Generally, TCS Digital don't ask questions from statistics, but Ninja or NQT will do ask questions from statistics, and they might end up asking 3 to 4 questions. So before we start solving their actual questions, we will go through all the formulas and what different kind of questions are asked. We will go through it in very nutshell, and then we will solve these questions. So on this happy note, let's start now. So as said, statistics basically deals with data. And there are two aspects to data. Whenever we call data, that is information, first is the collection part. But we are not concerned with collection. Next is measurement part. Different kind of things which we can like measure on the collected data. We would be dealing with measurement part, that is the mathematics of statistics. Collection part, you can get questions on presentation of data part, that is known as data interpretation, that can be presented from a bar diagram, pie chart, or line diagram, or tabular form, or raw data. Those kind of questions will also be asked, but in section data interpretation. As far as statistics is concerned, and as far as TCS examination statistics is concerned, where I've already included that 3 to 4 questions are always asked in NQT or Ninja out of that 26 questions in numerical ability part. Those will be from statistics. Basically, they ask questions from two different portions. First is measurement of central tendency, that they call measures of central tendency, and measures of dispersion. From measures of central tendency, they may ask question related to mean, median, and mode. And from dispersion, basically questions are from range, mean deviation, and standard deviation. Square of standard deviation is variance, that can also be asked, and coefficient of variation. So these are the basic topics, regularly asked topics on which they ask question in statistics. Again, I'm repeating 3 to 4 questions would be from statistics. I'll take up each of these topics one by one. We'll see different formulas and different pattern style questions in these, and then we will start solving questions. Basically, in statistics, when we say mean, we are actually dealing with arithmetic mean, that is AM, or in simple language we call it average. So if simple data is given, now what we mean by simple data means where the variable is occurring only once, that is the data points are x1, x2, x3 till xn. Then mean which is represented as x bar is given by add up all the values and simply divided by the number of values given. that is summation x by n. And x bar is the symbol which we use for arithmetic mean or simply mean. Now it might happen that weighted data is given. That means variable is given along with its frequency is also known. Now what does we mean by frequency? Frequency means the number of times that particular data is appearing in the set of information. So if I say x1 is occurring with frequency f1, that means x1 is occurring f1 times, or maybe like x1 is 3 and this frequency is 4. That means in the set of information 3 is occurring 4 times. That is what we mean by frequency. So we have x2 occurring with frequency f2 and we have xn occurring with frequency fn. Then mean is given by summation of fx divided by summation of f. That means we need to calculate one more thing, that is f into x. So first value would be f1 x1. We are multiplying it, f1 into x1, then f2 into x2 till fn into xn. Find the total of this column divided by the total of frequency. You will get mean for weighted series. Weighted series means where variable are occurring with one or more times. We have a frequency. In layman term, we also call it frequency distribution. Fine. Now, sometimes what happened that class interval and frequency is given. Class interval means range of numbers would be given and frequency is given. Fine. In that case, what we calculate is, first we calculate x. X is known as class mark or midpoint of the class. Midpoint of the class. I'll give you an example. Suppose we have class from 1 to 10 and frequency of 5. That means what? If suppose these are marks attended or obtained by students in an examination. So there are 5 students who have scored between 1 to 10 and both inclusive. Now next class is 11 to 20. We have got 15 students who have scored between 11 to 20. And then we have one more class from 21 to 30. And here also we have 10 students who have scored between 21 to 30. And if there are 30 students in the class, and in a test of 50, lowest score can be 1, highest score is 30. So what do we mean by 11 to 20, 15 students? 15 students have scored between 11 to 20. And we don't know what is their actual score. In that case, what we do, we try to average out their score by finding the midpoint of the class. Midpoint of the class is lower limit plus upper limit of the class divided by 2. These left-hand side values are known as lower limits. In case of class boundaries, we can call it class lower boundaries. And these right-hand side values are known as upper limits. So we need to find class mark. And class mark is nothing but lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. So 1 plus 10 is 11. 11 divided by 2, this will be 5.5. 31 divided by 2, it is 15.5. And 51 divided by 2, it will be 25.5. So now you can see that this class interval or class frequency distribution is converted into a simple weighted frequency distribution that we have considered in case 2 before. If I mark them as case 1, 2, 3. So we have x and we have f. What we need to calculate is just fx. Just f into x. 5.5 into 5, 15.5 into 15, 25.5 into 10. Add up all the values, divide by total frequency, we have the mean. So mean is here again summation fx by summation f. Just a little job that we need to do in this kind of question is find x. Now this is known as direct method to calculate arithmetic mean or simple mean. As we will take up few questions, we will also consider the deviation method or step deviation method, which may ease calculations, and without using calculator even, we would be able to find answers. Now next we move on to median. Median is actually the best measure of central tendency because it tells us about who is there in the mid of the information. So simple algorithm we will follow. First we will arrange data. Arrange data in ascending or descending order. We basically prefer arranging it in ascending order because we can do it very easily. After ascending it, median is the value of n plus 1 by 2th term. Like, suppose after arranging data in ascending order, I get 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12, 13 and 15. So after arranging them in ascending order, my data looks like this. Now, how many data points are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here n is equals to 10. Now 10 plus 1 by 2 is what? 5.5. So we are looking out for 5.5th element from the left or from the right. Whatever way you want to calculate, you will end up getting the same result. Now normally 5.5th data is known as 5th value plus 6th value divided by 2. You can see 5 plus 6 is 11. 5th value plus 6th value divided by 2, and normally we start from left hand side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5th value of the information, and then 6. This is the 6th value of the information. So my median will be what? Median is 5th value is 6 and 6th term value is 7 divided by 2, that is 6.5. So median of this particular information is 6.5. Please don't write median as 5.5. Median is the value which has been stationed at 5.5th position, which is nothing but average of 5th position value plus 6th position value divided by 2. Since we are talking about average, it is divided by 2. Now, in case we have only odd number of data, here n was 10, suppose we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here n is 7. So formula will never change. Formula will remain same. Median is 7 plus 1 by 2. That is 8 by 2. We are looking out for the 4th term. 4th term from the right or 4th term from the left. You will end up getting the same value. From the left, 4th term is 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 8. From the right, 4th term is 1, 2, 3, 4. Again it is 8. So in this case, median is 8. Please don't have this wrong notion that in case of odd number we have one median and in case of even numbers we have two medians. We never have two medians. If we end up getting two medians, we will find the average of that. Please don't keep this notion that we have got two medians. It is always one median. In case of even numbers, the two middle points are there and we need to find the average of that because we should have only one median. And in case of odd number of data, automatically we'll end up getting only one central value. That will be the median of the given information. Now moving on to the third measure of central tendency that we call is mode. Mode is the most popular value. Popular value means the variable occurring with highest frequency. Please mind here, mode is not the highest value. Mode is the value which is occurring with the highest frequency. That means it is occurring the most number of times. Suppose it is like 2, 2, 2, 3 and then 10. In this particular data, 2 is occurring the highest number of time. Mode is 2. Please do not mark on 10. 10 may be the highest value, but 2 is occurring highest number of times. So mode is 2 and not 10. Simply, we can calculate mode by looking at the data, and we need to find that which data is occurring most. This is a first example. Take one more example. 2, 2, 3, 3, 5, 10. Here we can see that there are two values which are occurring with the same highest frequency. Value 2 is occurring twice and value 3 is also occurring twice. In this case, we will have two modes. We will have two modes, and that would be 2 and 3. In the first case, we have got only one mode, that was 2. In the second case, we can have two modes, and that is 2 and 3. If we have one mode, we call it unimodal distribution, and if we have two modes, we call it bimodal distribution. Let's take one more example where the numbers or variables are 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5 and 10. Here if you see, 2 is occurring twice, 3 is occurring twice, 4 is also occurring twice. Clear? Here we will have no mode. Why? Because it's been noted that a distribution can be either unimodal or bimodal. It can't be multimodal. Distribution can have one mode or two modes, but it cannot have many modes more than two. Similarly, if we take example of 2, 3, 4, 5 and 10, here you can see all the values are occurring with the same frequency, and here the same frequency is 1. In this case also, there is no mode because all values are occurring with same frequency. If 3 values are occurring with same highest frequency, there is no mode. We can have either one mode or two modes. Moving on to measures of dispersion. Dispersion means how much away the values are from the central values. So here we calculate range. Range of the given information is simply maximum value minus minimum value. So if we have numbers like 20, 13, 19, 23, 48, and if they ask you to calculate range, range is simply maximum value, that is 48, minus minimum value, that is 13. 48 minus 13 is 35. So range of this distribution is 35. Fair enough? Next is mean deviation. Mean deviation is generally calculated with help of arithmetic mean. That means to calculate mean deviation, we first need to calculate mean, and then for simple frequency series, mean deviation about mean is simply summation of mod x minus x bar divided by n, and if frequency distribution is given or weighted series is given, it is summation of f into mod x minus x bar divided by summation f. Suppose x is given 1, 3, 5 and 6. Suppose 4 data is given. Find the mean of this data first. 11 and 3 14 and 1 is 15. Let me make this 2 so that it's easy for us to calculate. 10 16. So let x bar is 16 by 4, that is 4. Next we will calculate mod of x minus x bar. 2 minus 4 will give 2, the absolute value. 3 minus 4 will give 1. 5 minus 4 will give 1. And 6 minus 4 will give 2. Find the total of this, that is 6. That means mean deviation about mean here would be summation of x minus x bar, that is 6, divided by n. How many data points are there? You have got 4 data points. 6 by 4, that is how much? 1.5. That means mean deviation for 2, 3, 5, 6 about it mean is 1.5. Similarly, if x is given, f is given, please calculate fx and find mean. Then calculate x minus x bar mod. Multiply that with the frequency f into x minus x bar. Find the total of this column divided by the total of column f. So summation of f into mod x minus x bar divided by summation f will give mean deviation about mean in case of weighted series. Now we are moving on to the most important part in statistics measure of dispersion, that is standard deviation. And if my intuitions are clear always, like always, they will always ask a question on standard deviation. So for simple series, standard deviation is simply root over summation x minus x bar whole square by n. Either we can use this, and if values are too simple, then we can also use this formula. Summation x square by n minus summation x by n whole square. Done. Now if we have weighted series where frequency is also there, we use formula summation fx square by summation f minus summation fx by summation f whole square. And we will see that how step deviation and deviation methods are used in these kind of question if we end up getting those complicated question. But as far as my experience says that these two formulas would be quite more than enough in solving many different questions of standard deviation. Next part is often, this is first part suppose, then second part is they ask you to calculate variance of the distribution. Variance of the distribution is nothing but SD square. If you are calculating SD, there is a square root. Just omit the square root, whatever value you will get is the variance. So variance is SD square. Third most important thing they ask you to calculate is coefficient of variation, that is COV. Coefficient of variation. COV is given by SD by mean into 100. COV is SD divided by mean into 100. It is very useful in comparing two or more than two distribution regarding their consistency. As I am talking about consistency, very often they also ask that series A is given, B is given, C is given, and now they may ask which series is more consistent, or they may be the scores obtained in 5 different matches by 3 batsmen. Then they may ask which batsman is more consistent. For consistency purpose, we always calculate coefficient of variation. Lesser the COV for that particular data, higher the consistency. So out of these three, the one which will have the less value of COV will be more as far as consistency is concerned. So these three are the basic 3 points or basic 3 types of question which are asked under standard deviation. Either they will ask you to straight away calculate standard deviation, or calculate variance, or calculate coefficient of variation, where we need both help of standard deviation and mean. And in TCS, you know, calculator, on-screen calculator is there for your help. So please take it help if required. And COV best use is to find whether the given information is consistent or not. Now in the last section of the theory, as far as this theory is concerned, I will be talking about some cheat codes which you may use to solve questions in no time. Number 1. For natural number series, if natural numbers are given, suppose 1, 2, 3 till n, then AM or mean is simply n plus 1 by 2, and variance is given by n is square minus 1 by 12. Please remember these formula. These might be handy. If natural number series are given, AM n plus 1 by 2 and variance is n is square minus 1 by 12. So standard deviation would be root over n is square minus 1 by 12. Next important cheat code. In case of AP series, you know what we mean by AP series? That numbers are given and they follow a specific pattern where the difference between two consecutive numbers is same. Like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Here the difference between two numbers is same, that is 2. This is an AP series, and for that instance, natural number series is also a natural arithmetic progression series. So if we have an AP series, this will help us a lot. In case of AP series, mode is 0. There is no mode at all. And mean and median value is always same. If we have an AP series, then mean and median will always be same, and that will be equals to simply last term of the series plus first term of the series divided by 2. Suppose if we have numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, then mean and median both will be same for this series, and that would be 9 plus 1 by 2, that is 5. You may calculate it individually and you will end up getting the value 5. So why to calculate when we know that if it is an AP series, mean and median value has to be same, and that is n plus 1 by 2 or last term plus first term divided by 2. One more is we can note here. So suppose only two values are given, A and B. In case only two values are given, then standard deviation is mod of A minus B divided by 2, or we call it half of range, or we can also call it half of range. If only two data points are given, then standard deviation is range, that is find the difference and divided by 2, that is their half of range. Continuing on cheat code number 4. For any distribution where all the values are not same, AM is always greater than GM is always greater than HM, and GM of that set of number square will be always equals to AM into HM. Very handy properties. Next, all measures of central tendency, that means I am dealing with mean, median and mode. All measures of central tendency are dependent on change of scale and change of origin. In simple sense, if I say y is equals to a plus bx, then y bar will be equals to a plus bx bar. Median of y will be equals to a plus b into median of x, and similarly mode of y will be equals to a plus b into mode of x. Again, very handy thing to know, and we might end up using it also. On the similar note, we have next cheat code, that is all measures of dispersion, or in this case let me call it standard deviation. Standard deviation follows dependency on change of scale but it is independent of change of origin. That means that if y is equals to a plus minus bx, then standard deviation of y will be equals to mod b into standard deviation of x. Why we are taking absolute value? Because standard deviation, or in that case all measures of dispersion, yes, all measures of dispersion are always positive. So if standard deviation is always positive, we need to avoid this sign plus minus, and it will be always plus b. Like if y is equals to 5 minus 3x, then standard deviation of y is 3 times standard deviation of x. Or if y is equals to 5 plus 3x, in that case also standard deviation of y is 3 times standard deviation of x. So these all things would be quite handy when we solve questions. And let's solve few questions, and if in any case a question comes where we need to discuss something new or some other properties or other theoretical aspects which we haven't covered till time, we shall be discussing there itself. So be connected with us, and let's begin with questions now. Before starting these question solution, again I would like to mention this. These all are actual questions which are asked at TCS NQT and TCS Ninja in the previous session drive. That was in May, June, and also of October, November, December 2020. So you may expect these kind of question again in Ninja or NQT examination. The weights of 7 boys in kg are given. What is the variance of their weights correct to 2 decimal places? We know that variance is SD square. So that would be summation x minus x bar whole square by n. So for that, first I need x bar. X bar is total of all divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I may be using calculator because on-screen calculator is there. So it would be 65 plus 62 plus 74 plus 80 plus 78 plus 69 plus 76 divided by 7 we have, that is 72. So my mean is 72. Now look at the formula. We need x minus x bar whole square. That means from each data point I need to deduct 72 and square it up. 65 minus 72 is 7, square 49. 62 minus 72 is 10, square 100. 74, 72, difference is 2, square is 4. Then 80 minus 72 is 8, square 64. 78 minus 72 is 6, square 36. 69 minus 72 is minus 3, that square is 9. And 76 minus 72, difference is 4, square is 16. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points again. I would be using calculator. 49 plus 100 plus 4 plus 64 plus 36 plus 9 plus 16 is 278. Divided straight away with 7, you will get 39.71. That means variance is 39.71, and that features in option B. So here, find the mean deviation from the distribution in the following table. Variable is given and f is given. For mean deviation, we know first we require mean, and for that we need f into x. So 10 into 5, 50. This would be 120. 14 into 15 is 210. 16 into 14 would be 224. And 18 into 6 is 108. So now my calculator, but before that frequency is 25, 30, 40, 50. Okay, so it will be 50 plus 120 plus 210 plus 224 plus 108 divided by 50, 14.24. Mean is 14.24. I now need mod x minus x bar. 10 minus 14.24, positive value 4.24. Then 12 minus 14.24 is 2.24. 14 minus that would be 0.24. 16 minus 14.24 would be 1.76. And 18 minus 14.24 would be 3.76. I need to multiply this with my frequency, that is 5, 10, 15, 14 and 6, because I need f into mod x minus x bar. Mean deviation is summation of f into mod x minus x bar divided by summation f. So let's begin. 4.24 into 5 is 21.2. This would be 22.4. Then 15 into 0.24, 3.6. Then we have 14 into 1.76, 24.64. And 6 into 3.76 will give 22.56. Let's add this up. 21.1 plus 22.4 plus 3.6 plus 24.64 plus 22.56. Divide this by the total frequency, that is 50, 1.888. Mean deviation is 1.888. How we got this? By total of this divided by total of frequency. Summation f into mod x minus x bar divided by total of frequency gives 1.888. That is in option B. Okay, this question is the scores in history of 40 students in a class. What is the mean score of the students? Mean score. And score means class interval scores are given. Number of students means frequency. I need x, that is the midpoint. 50 plus 56 is 106 divided by 2 will give 53. That will be the class mark or the midpoint. 53 and the difference is 7. Next is 60, 67, 74, 81 and 88 are the midpoints. 88 is 85 plus 91 divided by 2. Frequency 2, 8, 10, 20, 12, 6, 2, that is total is 40. I can use the direct method, but for that I need ample amount of calculations. Or we may also end up getting results very easily using assumed mean and step deviation method. Suppose 67 is what I am assuming as my assumed mean. Then I'll make one more column where u equals to x minus a upon I. I is generally taken as any value, but in this case I'll take I as 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 60, that is 7. So in this case I've taken a as 67, assumed mean, and I as 7 because that is the class length. 777 units are there. In front of a, the value of u would be x minus a, that will be 0. Here if we calculate, these value would be minus 1, minus 2 and 1, 2, 3. Very easily we can put these values because all these class intervals are of same width and are regular. Now we just need to calculate f into u, and you will see now the calculations become so easy. 2 into minus 2 is minus 4, minus 8, 0, 12, 12 and 6. I need the total of this. 8, 4, 12, 12 gone. 12 plus 8 is, 12 plus 6 is 18. Now mean is simply a plus summation fu by summation f into I, and this will ease calculation. 67 plus 18 by 40 into 7. For that I can take help of calculator. 18 into 7 divided by 40 gives 3.15. So answer is 67 plus 3.15, 70.15 without any tedious calculation. Option C fits in. This method is known as step deviation method. Step deviation method में we assume a number as assumed mean. We take a number for dividing this deviation. We calculate u is x minus a, all x are deviated by a and then scaled by I. Then in this case, x bar would be simply a plus summation fu by summation f, that is u bar into I. Use it for fast and quick calculations. The variable x assume 10 values, that means n is 10, corresponding to which summation x square is 492 and summation of x minus 5 is 10. So when I open up this summation x minus 5 means this is summation x minus 5 into n is equals to 10. That means summation x is 10 plus 5 into n is 10, that is 50. So summation x is 60. What is the value of standard deviation? We know the formula. Standard deviation square is summation x square by n minus summation x by n whole square. So that is 492 by 10 minus summation x is 60 by 10 whole square. So that would be 49.2 minus this is 6 square, that is 36. So it will be 13.2. We are looking out for SD. SD is root over 13.2. Okay. So the calculator value will be 13.2 root 3.63. 3.63, and that features in option D. Option D is 3.63. Don't mark on C because it's a look like. It is 3.63 and not 3.36. Once again, it is 3.63 and which is in option D. What is the standard deviation of the data given? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Simple values are given and we know the drill. It's simply, let's first find the mean. 10 plus 28 plus 13 plus 18 plus 29 plus 30 plus 22 plus 23 plus 25 plus 32 divided by 10 gives 23 as the mean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, n is equals to 10 and mean is 23. And now we know that SD square is summation of x minus x bar whole square by n. That means we need to deviate each values from 23 and we need to find the square of that. 10 minus 23 is 13. Absolute difference will also work. 13 square is 169. 28, 23 is 5 square 25. 13, 23, 10 is square 100. 18, 23 is 5 square 25. 29, 23 is 6, that is 36. 30, 23, 7 square 49. 22, 23 is 1. 23, 23 difference is 0. 25, 23 difference is 2, square is 4. And 32, 23 differences of 9 and square is 81. So here we have got these 10 values, we need the sum of these. So we have 169 plus 25 plus 125 plus 36 plus 50 plus 85. That gives 490. Now 490 divided by 10. 490 divided by 10 is 49. That means sigma square is 49 and hence sigma is root over 49, that is 7, and that we have in option B. Sometime it might happen that we'll end up getting a question which demands time. It's fair enough. Like 26 question, 40 minutes. There might be few questions where you need to do a lot of calculation. And this is one of such questions. The mean and standard deviation of 30 items, n is 30, are 5 and 1 respectively. So mean is 5 and standard deviation is 1. That is given. But it was later found that one item 4 was incorrect. 4 is wrong data and it has to be replaced by 8. 8 is correct data. Now what is the standard deviation correct? Up to 2 decimal places. Okay. So x bar, we know that it is summation x by n. That means summation x is equals to 5 into n. That is 150 and this is wrong. So correct summation x would be 150, deduct the wrong value, add the correct value, that would be 154. Now we need the correct value of summation x square also. Now how to get that? We need to go back to the wrong standard deviation. Wrong standard deviation square is 1. 1 equals summation x square by 30 minus summation x by n is 5, the wrong data. 5 square is 25. So we get 26 into 30 equals to wrong summation x square. 18, 1, 6, 7. 780 is wrong value of summation x square. Correct value of summation x square would be 780 minus wrong values square. Wrong value was 4, square is 16, plus correct values square, that is 64. So 780 minus 16 plus 64 will give 828 as correct x square. Now our correct sigma square value is summation x square 828 by 30. N will remain at 30 because one value goes out and one new value comes in. So that means 30 values remains as intact. Minus summation x, correct value is 154 by 30 whole square. So we have 828 divided by 30, that gives 27.6, minus 154 when divided by 30 gives 5.133 something, and into 5.133333 if we do, we get 26.35. So that gives 27.6 minus 26.35, 1.25. So correct SD is root over 1.25 and we have our calculator. 1.25 root will give 1.11. 118 or 1.12 we can write. That is 1.12. So correct value would be 1.12. That is in option A. Which of the sequences given in the option has the highest standard deviation? If we look at all the four sequences are in AP. 1, 2, 3, 4 with common difference 1, 6, 9, 12, 15 with common difference 3, 16, 32, here the common difference is 16, and 8, 15, 22, 29, here common difference is 7. Let's devise a cheat code for these kind of series first. Let me take 4 values which are in AP. So it is A plus D, A plus 2D, and A plus 3D. What will be the mean? Mean would be 4A plus 3 plus 2 is 5 plus 1 is 6. 6D divided by 4. So that would be A plus 1, 6 by 4 is what? 1.5D. That would be the mean. Now we know that to find standard deviation, we need x minus x bar. So A minus of this will give minus 1.5D. Square would be 2.25D square. A plus D minus this will be 0.5D. Square would be 0.25D square. A plus 2D minus A plus 1.5D, again it will be 0.5D, 0.25D square. And when this deducted, it will give the difference of 1.5, that is 2.25D square. So when we add up 2.25, this is 2.5, and 5d square. Okay, so 5d square by 4 is sd square if 4 numbers are in AP, or simply sd would be root 5 by 2 into d. Now we can see that it directly depends upon the value of d only. It doesn't consider what is a. It only consider what is d, and that is the cheat code. When a series of arithmetic progression is given, the progression having the highest common difference will have the highest standard deviation. As d increases, standard deviation increases in case of arithmetic progression. If you remember this, then answering these kind of question would be just a cakewalk. So here the common difference is highest with this series number C, irrespective of whatever be the A or the first term. Standard deviation directly depends upon what? It depends upon the common difference. So in option C, we have got the highest common difference, that is 16. That means out of these 4 AP series, option C with common difference 16 will have highest standard deviation. Mark on C and move on. If the marks distribution of a number of candidates in an examination out of 100 are in accordance with the table given below, what is the estimate number of candidates who scored 58 and 72 both inclusive? Okay, since whenever these kind of range-wise frequency distribution is given, we play with averages. We need number of people who have scored 58, 59, 60 till 72, and then we can add up their score. Now here we can see that in group 2 the scores are from 55 to 60, including 60 but not 55. That means this group includes number of people who have scored 56, 57, 58, 59 and 60. That means in this group 5 discrete values are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the total number of candidates are 80. So on this assumption set that they might be equally distributed, that is the assumption we need to take. Each member, or how many member would be there for each marks? There are 5 marks and 80. So 40 by 5 is 8. That means number of people who have scored 58 on an average are 8. Number of people who have scored 59 on an average are 8. Now when I look at these two, I can see that here the range is from 60 to 70, and you can see both are inclusive. That's why I haven't considered 60 here. Let me consider 60 to 70 straight away in these two particular group. From 60 to 70, number of people who have scored from 60 to 70 is 50 plus 40. 50 plus 40, that is 90. So there are 90 candidates who have scored from 60 to 70 and both inclusive. Good. Now I need for 71. How many have scored 71 and how many have scored 72? When we move on to the last group, we can see the data points starts from 70. We have 70, 71, 72, 73, 74 and 75. So how many data points are there in this group? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And for 6 data point, frequency is 30. So on an average, each data point would be of 5 units. That means 70 is scored on an average by 5, 71 is scored by 5 people, and 72 is also scored by 5 people. Now we need to find that how many students have scored between 58 to 72, both inclusive. We just need to add up. 90 plus 10 is 100 and 8 plus 8 is 16. That will give 116. 116 students have scored from 58 to 72, both inclusive, and that we have in option C. If x is the mean of the first 8 positive integral multiple of 9, that means we have 9 into 1, 9 into 2, till 9 into 8. This series. How does this series look like? Obviously, this is an AP series. and y is the median of the same number, find the value of 5x minus 3y. We know our cheat code that whenever we have an AP series, number one, mean will be equals to median, and number two, mean will be equals to the first value plus last value divided by 2 for that particular series. I'm repeating again, if we have an AP series, for that particular series, mean will be equals to median, and mean will be equals to first term plus last term divided by 2. That means value of x is mean is first term, that is 9, plus last term 9 into 8 is 72 divided by 2. So that is 81 by 2. And y is the median, and we know that mean and median both are same. That means this is also equals to y. Now they have asked to find the value of 5x minus 3y, and we know that x is equals to y. That means we can find the value of 5x minus 3x, that is 2x. Now we know x is 81 by 2 into 2 will give 81. That means 5x minus 3y is 81, and that features in option A. So if we know our cheat codes well, we can very easily find answer and we can save some time. What is the value of Rx minus Ry? Where Rx and Ry are the range. We know the formula for range is maximum value minus minimum value in the given discrete distribution. So for x, okay, 25, 45, 45 is the maximum value, and we have a 23, 23 is the minimum value. That means Rx is 45 minus 23, that is 22. Now looking at y, 37, 37 is maximum, and 20, 15, 15 is minimum. So Ry would be 37 minus 15, that is also 22. Now they are looking out for the value of Rx minus Ry. So Rx minus Ry is 22 minus 22 again, that is 0. Yes, that is in option A. Okay, after tiring few sums, find the median from the following data. And we know the drill, we need to arrange it in ascending or descending order. Let's go by arranging in ascending order. So we have 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, and 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 plus 1 by 2 is 4.5. That means median is value of fourth term plus value of fifth term by 2 from left or from right. Let's do it from left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth term is 8 and fifth term is 9. 8 plus 9 by 2 is 17 by 2. That is 8.5. Bingo. Option C fits in. Study the sets of observation. 4 sets are given. Which set does not have any mode? And we know from the properties of mode that if all values occur once, we will have no mode. And number 2, if there are 3 or more variable with same highest frequency, then also we will have no mode, because unimodal distribution is allowed, bimodal distribution is allowed where we can have 2 modes, but multimodal distribution we haven't seen yet, not discovered. Okay, so if all the values occur once, we have no mode, or if in any set there are 3 or more variables with the same highest frequency, then there will be no mode. Look at series A. 2, 3 is occurring once, 4 is occurring thrice. For series A, we have single mode, that is 4. Series B, 3, 7, 3, 5, 7, 5, 7, 6, 3. 3 is occurring twice, 5 is occurring twice, 7 is occurring twice, 6 is occurring twice. There are more than 3 variables which are occurring with same highest frequency. For this series, there will be no mode. We know that series is B, which have got no mode. Still, let's check others. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 4. 4 is occurring twice, 8 is occurring twice. Series C have got 2 modes, and the 2 modes are 4 and 8. It is bimodal distribution. Series D, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 3. 3 is occurring twice, otherwise all are occurring once. This has also got one mode, and that is 3. So this is unimodal, this one is unimodal, this is bimodal, but multimodal distribution not permitted, and hence B have got no mode, and B features in option D. So option D is the correct answer. Please don't mark on option B where D is there. Our correct answer is series B, which features in option D. The sum of median and mode of the given set. To find median, our drill is very simple. Let's arrange them in ascending order. We've got 8, 8, then 9, 1, 9, 2, 9, 3, 9, 9, 9. Then we have 16, 18, 29, 59, and 61. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. N is equals to 10. 10 plus 1 by 2 is 5.5. Therefore, median is 5th term plus 6th term and average of that from left or from right, whatever. We will take it from left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 is 16. So, median is 9 plus 16 by 2. That is 25 by 2. 12.5 is the median. And mode is the number occurring with highest frequency, that is 9. 9 is occurring with frequency 3. Now we need the sum of these two. So median plus mode is 12.5 plus 9, that is 21.5. And yes, that is in option B. So mark on B and move on. Find the mode of the following data. I for detail. Just look out for the number which is occurring with highest frequency. 48, 1, 2, 3. 66, 1, 2, 3. 25, 1, 2, 3, 3. Okay. 52, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 52 occurring 4 times, and that is the mode. I for detail type of question, fun question. Option D is the answer. So the last question for the session, and it might be used up with a cheat code, I guess. Let's see. If small m and capital M are median and mean and median respectively of some number, which is correct relationship between m and m? Now looking at this number 2, 6, 10, 14, okay, this is an AP series. This is an AP series where the common difference is 4. So we know the cheat code. If we have an AP series, mean will be equals to median. We know that answer is A. Let's check again. What would be the mean? Mean would be the first term plus last term divided by 2. That would be 32 by 2, that is 16. And what would be the median? Median would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 terms are given. That means 8 plus 1 by 2th term. That is 4.5th term. We need 4th term plus 5th term's average. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 5th. So here also you can see 14 plus 18 by 2 is 32 by 2, that is 16. So the proof is also there in front of you. But if we know our cheat code, this is an AP series. For an AP series, mean is always equals to median, and mean is equals to A plus L by 2. In this case, we'll just mark on option A and will move on.